2 weeks after the release of GTA 5, there is still lots of things to say about the open-world action game. GTA Online is upon us, and analysts have made an estimation of the sales. In other news, Microsoft might be starting its own streaming service, and Om Nom 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 is back. I'm Tara Babcock, and you're watching Tara Talks on Zoomin.tv Games. In the spirit of FIFA 14, why don't we kick off this new episode? We start this week's news off with Valve. No, we don't have any news on Half-Life 3, but the Steambox is a reality. Valve is working on its own operating system called SteamOS that's optimized for gaming. In addition, the company is developing Steam computers, called Steam Machines, in collaboration with hardware developers. As a finishing touch, they're going to create and sell their own game controller. But don't worry guys, to use SteamOS, you're not going to have to buy a Steam machine. You can just go ahead and install SteamOS on your own computer. Alright Valve, you guys got our attention. Now, let's make some magic happen. The hype of GTA 5 is still all around us. Even though FIFA 14 might have kicked it off the #1 spot in many countries, Take-Two Interactive is going to be happy nonetheless. Doug Kreutz from the firm Cohen & Company estimates that the game sold over 15 million copies. Of course sales will drop a little bit, but he estimates that it's going to be 25 million in just 1 year. If they can pull that off, that means they sold more in the first year than the previous GTA sold in 5 years.
Here, darling, why don't you go get yourself something nice, okay?
Thank you!
We are going crazy over GTA, but in Japan there's a whole other hype going on. Monster Hunter 4 for the Nintendo 3DS. The game sold over 1.7 million copies in its first week, crushing the competition. In its second week, it continued to make the competition eat dust with over 400,000 copies sold, where the second place only had like 20,000 copies sold or something like that. Ouch. The American film and TV website Deadline think that Paula Patton and Colin Farrell will be casted as characters in the new Warcraft movie. Sources from the website think the chance that Farrell will join is about 50-50. Filming for the movie will start in January, and it should be out in 2015. It's finally happening, guys. Microsoft is working on a service to allow Xbox 360 games to stream on other devices. Apparently, a test version was shown to employees. They streamed Halo 4 on a crappy PC and on a smartphone. This service will allow backwards compatibility to some extent on their next-gen console. Now that GTA 5 is released, what's next for Rockstar? Could it be a new Red Dead game, or is Midnight Club making a comeback? In an interview with The Verge, Rockstar big shot Dan Houser said he would like to make Bully 2. However, this one will not be about Jimmy Hopkins, the protagonist of the first game. Houser has many plans to revitalize the Bully series. The first game came out in 2006 for the PlayStation 2, with ports for the Wii and 360 2 years later. No real announcement yet, although it is good to hear that there are plans. I do hope that Rockstar is actually working on something already, though. Alright, enough hearsay, let's jump to the real game announcements. Square Enix has announced a free-to-play game within the Soul Reaver or Legacy of Kain universe. Nosgoth is a third-person action game in which human hunters have to fight against vampires. No release date is yet known. If you own a smartphone or tablet, chances are you've played Cut the Rope. Well, this holiday season, the cute little green dragon Om Nom is going to make a comeback. Cut the Rope 2 has been announced, and several new gameplay elements have been introduced in order to make the puzzles challenging and fresh. After the fall of THQ, it was Ubisoft that picked up the pieces for the RPG around South Park. South Park: A Stick of Truth will be out on the 360 and the PS3 on December 10th in the States and December 12th in Europe. The Nintendo 3DS role-playing game Bravely Default Flying Fairy will be out this year in Europe. No exact release dates yet from Square Enix. The game is expected to release next year in North America. And now, let's see which games are on our wish list for this week. Not exactly a release per se, but Rockstar will be patching Grand Theft Auto 5 this Tuesday, which will unlock GTA Online. I'm already looking forward to the millions of YouTube videos and crazy stuff that's going to be happening in that game. This Friday, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD for the Wii U will be available on disc in North America and Europe. In North America, it's already been available to download for 2 weeks now. Racing fans can shift into gear with F1 2013. The Formula 1 racing game will be available on the PC, Xbox 360, and PS3, and is set to be released this Friday in Europe and next week's Tuesday in the US. I've had this game on my Steam wishlist for quite a while now. Starting today, us American gamers can be ballers with NBA 2K14 on the PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. The European release is set for Friday. And as soon as Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are released in your country, you can pick up this game for those next-gen babies. Those of you with more than 20 years of gaming experience might remember a little game called Flashback. Well, guess what? It's back and ready for download on Steam for PC, which is what I'm gonna go do right now. after I finish the tarot topic, which is this week about Steam machines, and is a part 2 of last week. So let's do that. Okay, so last week we didn't know very much about the Steam box, and we weren't quite sure what was going on. We thought maybe it was going to be another next-gen console or something like that, but now we're figuring out that they're going to create a controller with trackpads. So let's start with that topic. A controller with trackpads that they boast has the same DPI and accuracy as like mouse gaming, so you can play really, really good first-person shooters and even RTS games on your couch with a controller. Doing this kind of motion in order to select things and pressing buttons is not nearly going to be as fast or precise as using a mouse. So while the logic there may be sound, I'm pretty sure it's not going to work out like a mouse and keyboard for RTS at least. But I'm very excited by the fact that because of this, every single game is going to be compatible with the controller. So anything that doesn't have controller support on Steam right now, it will, which is awesome. In my opinion, this controller situation could be terrible, or it could be the next big thing, but I'm assuming it's going to be terrible based on the logic that I've concocted in my head. Next, let's talk about the Steam systems. Is it going to be something like Alienware, where it's really, really, really expensive but high quality, but you could just kind of build the same kind of machine? Or is it going to be more like a console? Or is it just going to be another gaming PC? I really like the idea of the Steam OS, but can we still run it while running Windows at the same time? If you want to sign up for the Steam OS beta, what you have to do is go through a list of things and complete all the missions, and one of the missions is to use big picture mode to play a game to kind of get a feel of what the Steam OS is going to be like. So is it just going to be like that, something you can launch on your desktop, or is it going to be like the whole computer of yours is like PS3? That's going to be kind of weird, right? So let me know down in the comments what you think about the Steam systems, Steam OS, and the new controller with the trackpads. Alright, that's it for this week's show. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure you post in the comments, and check out Zoomin.tv games on the social networks. Oh, and my own channel down in the description. In its second week, it made the competition eat dust with 400,000. Das ist gut.